Hey everyone, welcome to this daily Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for Monday, November 26, 2018. Alright, so today we have the moon in Gemini. So likely themes today around learning, the importance of learning, treating life as a place to learn, and being curious. And through this, getting into this flexible and adaptive energy that comes along with that. So with that theme today, really good to do those things, but Mercury, the ruler of Gemini, is going to be squaring up to Mars, and Mercury is also retrograde. So collectively, there could be a bit of clash maybe with some of the things we're thinking about, maybe with the mind, possibly with communication, and also possibly with our routine. So these types of things really good to practice non-attachment to, and be aware of if there are any strong personal needs or things we want that need to be expressed that as we become conscious of, helps balance that out a bit. So along with that, the sun is conjunct Jupiter. So very different from this energy in the sense we could be quite maybe expansive today, seeing the broader view of life. Really good for maybe possibilities or potentials, maybe some new beginnings with those things coming into the week. All right, so let's take a look at all of this here in more detail when we return. All right, so here's the sky for this Monday. Again, we are using the actual size of the constellations called True Sidereal Astrology. So if you are new to the channel, definitely check out the link below, especially if you do notice some of the signs that I'm mentioning are different from mainstream astrology. All right, so the moon finishing Gemini here today. We did feel this energy yesterday as well, placing a theme on things that have to do with learning, communication, and sharing and exchanging. So really good to get into this aspect of ourselves, particularly the side that is, again, curious, willing to learn. This really helps us get into the flexible state of Gemini where we're light on our toes. We're seeing life as a place to, all right, learn, and so be curious, and then it can be quite flexible and we're adaptive, right? It can be light in that sense, and quite nimble as well with Gemini. So good to cultivate this, and we could notice a bit of a theme today pertaining to these matters of communication and or learning. So with that being said, the ruler of Gemini, Mercury, is retrograde. He's coming up to his halfway point, so he's been retrograde for about a week and a half now. So good to really still be rethinking matters if there's been anything you've been thinking about maybe the past few weeks. And this also goes with the flexible thing because Mercury retrograde is a time of particularly relearning. So anything we can do to go back, rethink about, reconsider, redo, re-edit, maybe even remake some plans or things like this, really good with the retrograde energy. And so this is in Scorpio where Mercury is, and we do have this three-way conjunction, also called a stellium, involving Mercury, the Sun, and Jupiter, all in Scorpio. So there's a lot of this deeper stuff being brought out collectively now. And so with Mercury in particular, good to still be rethinking what are our deeper values? What truly matters most to us in life at the core level? How can we be vulnerable with these things and dive deep with them, right? And accept them and become aware of them. And again, rethink all of that, rethink them, rethink those deeper values with Mercury retrograde. So that's the personal level. Then interpersonally, with the communication, same thing, right? Communicating the truth, being open, transparent at the right times. Sometimes Scorpio, we do need to set our boundaries, and that's very important. But in our close relationships, good to dive deep, that openness, vulnerability, really good at this time with this stellium here. So with this Mercury collectively, there's a bit of a challenging energy today in particular. With Mercury, again, we'll all experience this in different ways, but in this sense, collectively, maybe a bit of clash, maybe a bit of challenge, maybe with the communication, or just with the mind we could be feeling, just a lot of fire or sort of assertiveness or action needing to manifest its way through the mind or through communication or through writing and maybe even the routine as well, maybe a bit of that clash there. So this becomes very constructive when we are aware of the side of ourself, the Mars side of ourself, that does have these personal needs, things to express, right? And to be conscious of that and aware of it. And then it manifests in very much more healthy and balanced ways as we become aware of those needs and that side of ourself that does need to assert. And so doing this consciously through things like writing, right? Getting that Mars energy out into writing. Also maybe learning or doing practical things, maybe with the routine. Really good way of constructively working with this. And again, also through those communications, being observant of that. So that's a great way of working with it. And then I would say also just continuing to practice non-attachment with these things. We've had the full moon also squaring up to Mars. So there's really nothing new here, but maybe practicing non-attachment to what we're speaking, what we're communicating, or what we're doing on a routine level can also help this energy flow a bit. All right, so that's the square with Mars, but along with this, and almost at the same time here, we do have the Sun going over Jupiter as Mercury gets close to that conjunction as well. But today is the exact with the Sun Jupiter, so we could be feeling or maybe focusing on things a bit more expansively here today. So great to broaden our horizons a bit, allow some of this maybe mind to wander with this kind of retrograde thinking energy regarding potentials, possibilities, rethinking them, but with the Sun focused on them. And this can give us a sense of vitality today, energy, life force. We may even be a bit expressive, which is nice with this. And anything that's Jupiter related makes it a great day for working on. So things like philosophy, expressing that, communicating that, matters like travel or adventurous things, really good to cultivate. But fundamentally, maybe just some possibilities. With this broader view, we could maybe see some potentials. Could be some new beginnings with some of these possibilities. In fact, this early part of the week makes it great for implementing any new inspirations or hopes or just things that we're a bit broader about coming into the week. All right, everyone, so that is the day in a nutshell. Those are the two most important things here. Mercury will go over the Sun tomorrow. So as the day unfolds, we might be gaining some insight, which is sometimes the case during the halfway point of the retrograde. But most important, again, still to be flexible because information is changing, and it's just good to still be allowing for that information to change and for us to rediscover some things that we're rethinking at this time. All right, and so again, this is all in Scorpio, so good to get into that depth, deeper mind, deeper things, aware of them, accept them, maybe even take action towards them in the face of any fears or deep things is also a great way of working with it, with non-attachment in particular, especially if it involves communication or things that we're thinking about or the routine. All right, and the backdrop of the day being Gemini just places more of a theme on today, likely being around the importance of communication, learning, being willing to learn, exchange with others, and fundamentally that curiosity leading to a bit of flexibility and sort of lighter energy, nimble energy of life. All right, so everyone have a fantastic day. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all tomorrow for the daily forecast.